Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are actually doing an Etsy shop critique. And this is one of the many critiques that I be doing for free for the entire year. So if you are interested in getting a critique of your Etsy store and you're struggling with sales or maybe you're struggling with SEO, make sure that you sign up today. I will leave the link below the video as well as in the comments section. Now, also, if this is your first time visiting my YouTube channel and you want to learn how to grow an impactful online business, don't forget to subscribe today. Don't forget to show me some love by liking this video and leaving a comment below. So I'm going to head over to my computer to start the critique. I'll see you there. Hey guys, so here we have the winner of today's Etsy shop critique, and the store name is Glam Coco Studio, and the store owner is Yolanda Ramos. So I just want to thank everyone for applying for the critique. I've been trying to do my best to do as many as I can. I get so many people that actually apply for the critique. You'd be surprised at how many people. Now, I did notice today that trying to find a new critique, many of the people that I was going to do a critique on, they actually unsubscribe from my email list. So what I'm trying to do is create a sense of community that when I do a critique, I email everyone, we all come together and we help each other. We give Yolanda or whoever I did a critique on amazing information, amazing feedback on things that they could improve. So what I'm going to do differently now is that for those of you that unsubscribe from the emails, I'm not going to do a critique for those individuals, because obviously when the critique is done and I send an email out, I'm not sure even if they're paying attention that I actually did a critique. So I'm losing an opportunity for someone else that is involved in my community all the time and help other members versus people that might come and go and never even know that I actually did a critique for their store. I think it's very unfair for people that are actually waiting and even asking me, when can I get mines? So I'm going to start doing that from here on. And hopefully that will give you a higher probability of getting a critique. So now that that's out of the way, guys, please leave a question, leave any comments below to help out Yolanda with any tips and tricks. Maybe you are in the same niche as her and you have some valuable information that you could give her or some tips that you could offer. So let's go ahead and get started. So for you guys that are first time visiting my channel, what I normally do on a critique is that I take a particular listing and I talk about product photography. I talk about SEO, on-page SEO factors, off-page SEO factors, listing description, the curation of your store, and much more. And I break it down into sections so it could be easier for you guys to follow through. Make sure that you take a notebook out and take some notes, because I'm going to be giving a lot of valuable information on this actual critique. So let's go ahead and get started. So the critique or the listing that I'm doing an audit on is this one here. And the first thing I want to talk about is product photography. And product photography is very important when you sell online, because that's the only thing that the person has to go by. So that's the first thing that they see. Your main image should be your attention grabber. It should be your photo that clearly illustrates exactly what you're selling. When people look at it, they shouldn't be confused. They should know exactly that this is an actual logo that they're getting, that they could use for their business. When I looked at your picture, Yolanda, the first time, I honestly thought this was a backdrop. You know how you create these beautiful backdrops, you print them out and people take pictures in front of them? That's what I thought it was. Until I clicked on the actual listing and I read your additional things and I saw the business cards, that's when it resonated with me. I'm like, oh, this is a logo. I actually started here and I didn't even bother to look at this. I was just browsing like this. And this picture got me a little confused. This one, because from far away, it looks like a banner. I saw this, but this is very light. As you can see, it blends in with the background. I would maybe change that to black font so it could stand out. But that's what I thought at first glance. So in my opinion, having your business card, having the logo, maybe you do like a website with the logo on it, I think that would be a better way to display your logo. I was actually looking at other pictures online to see if I find something that's a good example of displaying your logo. And something like this, in my opinion, will work, because when people see this, it says your business name and your tagline. So automatically people know, oh, this is a logo. Looking at it like this, yeah, it looks like it's a logo, right? But it also could look like a banner, like I just said. So I would personally would say something like this will work a little bit better, where it says business name in your tagline, because people could visualize, oh, that's a logo that I could use for my actual business. So that was my first impression, to be quite honest. I thought it was a banner and not a logo until I actually saw it. Your product's beautiful, don't get me wrong. The issue with it for me is that product presentation is everything. And if somebody's browsing through the search feed and they take a first glance and they don't really know what they're getting, they're gonna keep going. They're not gonna stop to read. A lot of people won't go that far. So you want to make sure that the first picture is the attention grabber, and when they look at it at first glance, they know exactly what they're getting. So what I would do is maybe start looking at ways that you could showcase a logo. Business card is one, a website is another one. Just having the plain logo is another one. But having it in this white background like this, it does make it look a little bit more of a banner for some reason, when you look at it, especially from far away. Other than that, I do give you props because you have tried to add additional photos. You have this one here with the detailed information on how to order. And then you have the last one, which is for them to follow you on Instagram. What I would do is this. It's more important if you grab their email than them following you on Instagram. So keep this in mind. Once you have their email, you could send them a welcome email saying, hey, welcome to Glam Coco Studio. We appreciate you we appreciate you becoming part of our newsletter community. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram or at Facebook or whatever you're promoting. But then you could promote your Instagram and anywhere else. You want to grab that email. The email is more important than a follower. Always keep that in mind. When you get that email, having a picture like this that says, don't forget to join our community to stay updated with our new products and services. You could also have like a lead magnet, or you could offer some type of discount for an exchange of an email. Once you get that email, then you could remarket to them on Facebook, on Instagram if you wanted to as well. And you could remarket your products, your services. You could nurture that email list. But in the beginning, it's more important to grab an email. So I don't see that you have your email set up in your store. What I recommend anyone out there is to start collecting emails as soon as you have a business. Doesn't matter whether you're on Etsy or outside of Etsy. I will leave you in the link, Yolanda, my email provider. They are amazing. They have a free plan that you could start with, up to 500 contacts. And I recommend using them. You could get started. And what you would do is you would create a landing page. You would take that link and you would put it everywhere in your store. You would create a banner like this one here. And you put the link there. You will put it in your store banner. You will put it in your shop announcement. You will put it in your About Me story. You will put it in your email signature. You will put it in your social media platforms. You will put it anywhere and everywhere you could collect an email. This is how you're able to start generating some emails. But email marketing is not dead, and email marketing is really important for your business. So that would be my first suggestion. Secondly, when you use fonts, be careful what fonts you're using. Some fonts are really hard to read. This one is a little bit hard to read. I have to kind of zoom in to be able to read it. And it is a text box font, but it's one of those that have a little bit, like you see how the lines are like thin here, but thick here. That makes it hard to read. So what I would do is just play around with different fonts and try to stick with that particular font and use that across, because if it's hard to read, people won't even bother, to be quite honest. So just keep that in mind. I will add another picture saying, favor our store or favor this listing. Maybe have an arrow pointing to the heart. The reason why you want to tell people to favor your store is because every single time that you do an update on your store, or you have a sale, or you add new listings, these particular people will get a notification that you actually did an update. So this is free remarketing ads for you. And they're not ads, but they're basically Etsy sends them a notification, and they get a notification right here of any items that they favorite before that are on sale, or any updates on that particular store. And that's free advertising for you, basically. So if you have 1,000 people that favorite your store, that's 1,000 people that will be notified. Even if 5 of those people purchase, you'll be happy with that, right? Because it's an extra 5 sales. Ultimately, everything that I'm going to be talking about on this video today, guys, if you apply all these different strategies, even as tedious as it might sound, oh, I have to ask somebody to favor a store. Well, yeah, because, if you add a new product, now they're going to get a free notification automatically. You don't do anything else after that. And keep this in mind, all these different strategies, when you combine them together, the ultimate goal is to get you more sales. So if the favoring your store got you 10 extra sales a year, and the email list got you an extra 40 sales a year, and then other strategies that I'm going to talk about got you another 30 here, or 20 here, 5 here, all of them collectively together will scale your business to the next level or make you more money at the end of the year, right? So that's the ultimate goal. So I would add that image, and I will also add an image telling people, click below to learn more about our beautiful logo. The reason why is you want to tell the person what to do next. When you sell online, call to actions are really important, because essentially you're telling the reader what type of action you want them to take. So therefore, adding call to actions are really crucial for your business. I don't know if you guys ever heard me on a YouTube video. I'm always telling people, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to follow me, right? Those are call to actions. So you would do the same for your business, though. You would say, don't forget to click below to learn more about this logo. And then the more the person engages with your store, the longer that they shop, the more comfortable they get, and they might go ahead and buy from you. So that increases the likelihood of somebody getting to know you more, engage with your brand, and hopefully go ahead and buy from you, which is the main goal for all of us. So adding that call to action will definitely help you. So in that sense, that's all the things that I would recommend for your photos. Your title, I think, looks really well, because I always talk about Etsy doesn't want us to do keyword stuffing anymore. I'm still changing a lot of mine. I know that many people have told me that they're still changing theirs. The reason why is because it's frowned upon Google, and Etsy is trying to be compliant with Google. So especially because our products are shown on Google. So what you want to make sure that you do is that your title is SEO focused, but is user friendly for the buyer. You don't want to have, custom logo design, gold design, gold logo, custom logo design, personalized design logo. Like, you don't want all those keyword stuff in your title. When people are reading it, they don't really know that's an SEO factor that you're trying to put in there. They just read it and they get more confused. I know, me personally, I have received messages from people that say, well, it says wedding invite, and it says do it yourself wedding invite, and it says instant download wedding invite, and they get confused and they ask me, what exactly am I getting? And I started noticing that, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get why Etsy and Google doesn't want us to do that anymore, because for us, we're doing it for SEO practices, right? But for the actual customer, it gets them confused. And I think eventually they might turn that into a black hat SEO, thing. So you definitely want to work on it and fix it. I know me personally, I have been dragging on doing them, and I do like 5 per month. I probably should do a lot more, because a lot of my listings, I have many listings. So therefore, I need to start working on them a little bit more often. But you did a really good job, because you have the Luxe custom logo, and then you have gold glitter logo, and then you say elevate your business to the next level with this high quality logo. So you really didn't, it makes sense when you read it. It's not a whole bunch of keywords. So great job there. Your meta description, you did a good job as well, because you put the keyword that you use in here. This is your focus keyword. You put it right here. The only thing different that you didn't do is you made it plural. And when you add the plural, Etsy understands that design and designs go together, so you're fine. But normally what you want to do is whatever you put here, you want to put it here exactly the same as well. So you did a good job with your meta description. This is something that is shown to Google. When people search for you on Google, this is what they see. And this is your meta description here. Now, the only thing I would say is that your meta description, you still have a little space left.
So what I would do is I would say deluxe custom logo designs are super fast and inexpensive way to brand your business. Get yours today. And then click enter so this could get pushed down. That's a little bit better because you're telling the customer what to do next. You're saying, get yours today. That's the call to action. And that should be right here. Get yours today, or hurry, sales expire soon, or I click to learn more. Whatever call to action you want to use, I highly recommend doing so. But you did a good job with half of it. It's just a little bit too short. Keep in mind you have 155 characters, so use them all, because if you don't use 155 characters, it's going to start pulling from the rest of your listing description, and sometimes it doesn't make sense, like it does in here, because then it starts talking about, if you like this beautiful logo, simply provide me with your name. And when somebody's reading that, it doesn't make sense because this is what they're seeing in Google, not in your listing when they're buying from you. So this should be, click to learn more about our services, and that's it. So I will work on fixing that. Other than that, you are off to a really good start. So great job on that. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is optimizing your listing for SEO. So at the current moment, your listing is not optimized for SEO. And optimizing your listing for SEO basically means taking the additional keywords that you're using for this particular listing and putting them in your listing description organically. So you don't want to do keyword stuffing, but you're not doing that at the current moment. And the way that SEO works is that if you don't include those keywords in your listing description, the algorithm is not going to know what your page is about. That's the biggest issue that many Etsy sellers don't know, or they don't do even after I do the critiques and I tell people to do it. Sometimes I'll go back to see if they've done the changes, and a lot of times they have not. So you want to include your keywords in your listing description. That's how the algorithm knows, oh, whenever somebody types in the word boutique logo or nursery logo or one of a kind logo, right? They know to rank this listing higher in the search results. When you do this properly and you start fixing all your listings, you'll get an SEO boost, because now it's going to start driving you more traffic to your store for those particular tags, if you rank for the tags, obviously, but it's going to drive you more traffic. So you definitely want to work on adding your keywords in your listing description. So let's look at your keywords now and kind of look at them, and we'll talk about your keywords and which keywords you should be using, basically. Excuse me. So I'm using, guys, eRank Pro. If you currently use them, the eRank, they have actually the free service plan that you could use. If you want to upgrade and get more features, I highly recommend using the Pro. That's the one that I have. So if this looks a little bit different from your end, it might be because I have the Pro and you have the regular account. So just keep that in mind. Now, one thing that I'm telling everyone, and this is happening to me with my own tags, right now is peak season for weddings. This is my peak. These are the months that I usually make like 5,000-6,000 a month. Because of the pandemic and because of everything happening around the world, my sales have pretty much dropped a lot. I'm still getting sales. I'm still making sales every month, but I have lost about 60% of my revenue. So that's a big chunk. And my data, my information, my numbers are all skewed right now. And I'm letting you know this because you're probably in the same scenario, whether you are selling similar items like Yolanda, or maybe you have something else. When you're doing keyword research, the most important thing to do right now at this moment is write down 10 to 15 keywords that describes what you sell. And then you want to do keyword research. You want to find out how many average search volumes, so how many people are searching for that keyword per month, and how much competition is out there. And you will go to Tools, Keyword Explorer. A lot of people make the mistakes that if the keyword has a lot of people, like a lot of competition, that's what you want to use. It's the opposite. If you use a keyword that everybody else is using, if your actual listing doesn't become a bestseller, you actually get buried in the search results. So you want to make sure that you use keywords that not only accurately describes what you're selling, but they're not too competitive, because it's going to be really hard for you to rank organically. Or if you were to run a Facebook ad, or an Etsy ad, your cost per click is going to be very high because you're competing with so many people with that keyword. And this is how it works for Facebook. This is how it works for Instagram. This is how it works for Pinterest ads, Twitter ads, Google AdWords. It doesn't matter where you run an ad. If you use a keyword that everyone else is using, your cost per click will be higher. If you use a keyword that's unique or a long tail keyword, your cost per click will be less. And most likely you wouldn't even have to run an ad because you could probably rank organically for that keyword easily. So therefore, those are the better keywords to use. They'll give you less monthly impressions, but they're more targeted to your audience and more likely to get you more clients. So just keep that in mind. So a good number to start here with the average search volume is 500. And a good number to start with the competition is 30,000 or less. That's what I have found that works for me really, really well and for my clients. If you have a keyword that has like 50,000 or more, it just gets to the point when you look at it here. Sometimes we'll say it caps it out at 50,000. It gets to the point now that there's so much competition. There's like 200,000 people using that same keyword. It's going to be almost impossible for you to rank for that keyword. So you definitely want to focus on that. If you're looking for your new keywords and you found these unique keywords that accurately describes what you sell, but the search volume says 0 and the competition, these are pretty good here. She did a really good job with her keywords, at least looking at keywords that are not too competitive. If it says 0 here, it could just be merely because of the pandemic. I have a lot of keywords that we're getting 500, 600, 1,000 monthly searches that now are 0 for some reason. I know why. It's because no one is searching for that at the current moment. Now, come next year in July or June, yeah, my sales will go back up again. But at the current moment, unless things change drastically, I don't really think I'm going to make that much this year based on everything that's happening, right? So therefore, you have to think about that. If you find a keyword that accurately describes your business, what you're selling, your product, that if I was your target audience, I would type in and I will find your product and buy, keep the keyword, even if it has 0, as long as your competition is not over 30,000. If it has too much competition, don't even bother with it, to be honest. I wouldn't even use it. So I think you have to look at your design, right? This design is a logo. It does have pineapples, and you have to think about it. Who are you really targeting? And you targeting, are you trying to just sell it to anyone that needs a design? Which is ultimately, I get the reason why, but you have hair bow logo. I don't know if that would be a good one there to use. You have, because hair bow, when I think about hair bow logo, I think about somebody that's selling a logo that has a hair bow, right? That's what I'm thinking. So you see how when I'm typing that in, this logo here has like a little hair, like a bow. So that's what I'm, thinking. These are hair bows that are popping up for some reason. They shouldn't. But I guess because they have logos on them like this, that's probably why it's coming up. So are you really targeting your ideal customer when you use a keyword like that if your logo actually doesn't have a hair bow? So that's not a good keyword. That actually hurts your conversion rate. When you use keywords that don't accurately describe what you sell, it hurts your conversion rate. Because now you're showing your products to a lot of people. Let's say you get some traction with that keyword. But if people are not buying, the algorithm gives you a listing. It's called a listing score quality, a quality listing score. And based on how people interact with your actual listing, if people are not buying, you actually place lower in the search results. So this is why it's so important to use quality keywords that actually describes what you sell, whether it's a long tail keyword, a tag, or unique phrase, than just randomly finding keywords that might have good numbers, right? But don't accurately describe what you sell. So I would take away this one here, bow logo. You don't have any bow on it. This one here. So some of these are pretty good. Some I would just remove completely. It says baby boutique logo. I don't know. I mean, can somebody that has a baby boutique use this as their logo? Yes. But if I had a baby boutique store, I probably would want something that was, I mean, it is pretty. I mean, I could see it, but because it has pineapples, it has flowers, I think a watermelon on it. I don't see it more for like a kid's logo store, I guess. And that's where my confusion is coming in. So think about it that way. What does your logo represent? And try to use keywords that describes what you're selling and for what type of person it might be for. So a lot of these like daycare logo, I mean, I guess somebody could use it as a daycare logo, but if I was a daycare, I would want like a logo with kids, right? I wouldn't necessarily want a logo with a pineapple and a watermelon. I hope that makes sense. So I know sometimes it's hard to find keywords, so sometimes we'll just settle for the ones that we find. But the issue with doing that, like I said, it hurts your conversion rate because now you're showing your products to a lot of people, to the wrong people. No one's really buying, and therefore Etsy either decides, oh, this is going to be a bestseller and give you that badge, or they're going to say, this is not a bestseller, no one's buying, let's push it down in the search feed. You don't want that. You want to be pushed up or you want to become a bestseller. In order to do that, you have to make sure that you're using the right tags. Now, once you do your keyword and you have the new tags and you're happy with them, then you want to come back and you want to always take the tag that has the highest search value with the low competition. That's going to be your main focus keyword. That's the one that you're going to put in your title and you're going to put in your meta description. Every other tag, the other 12 tags, you're going to try to optimize your listing with those tags. That way you could, whenever somebody searches for those keywords in the search results, in the search engine, your listing will pop up in the search results for those particular tags. Now, another thing is when you're selling online, I think you did a good job because you put in, how to order, what you get included after checkout, what happens. You put this is a digital item only. What I would do is try to think about your listing description as something that accurately describes what you sell, that has your personality, that you craft a killer listing description that when people read it, there's no confusion, they know how to order, and they feel comfortable with you. Also, try to include your name, something like if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thanks again for stopping by, Jolanda, right? And then have your store name on the bottom. Have backlinks to other products. So if you have put your homepage right here and then put a backlink, so something similar. You could say, hey, check out our other logos that we create, and then put the link. The reason why you want to put links here is because when somebody lands on your page, when they click on this on the search feed, right? So if I saw this and I'm interested, I click on it. This is what people see. They're going to look through your photos. And let's say they go like this, down. What they're going to do, go to your other competitors, you see? You don't want them to do that. You want them to stay in your page. So the quickest way that you could keep them in your page is by adding backlinks. And when you add a backlink, it takes them back to your home page. And then hopefully, because now they're engaging with your brand, they're looking at your other products, hopefully they'll buy either this one or another product of yours. But you want to add those links. You don't want them to get down here past your store and then look at someone else's store. So that's what I would recommend, making sure that you have backlinks here, making sure that you're more personal by saying, thank you for stopping by. If you have any questions, let me know. Please message us at any time. Making sure that you include everything and anything the customer needs to know. I personally wouldn't put this all in capitals. Just so it could flow better, I will make sure you fix the format. Make sure that there's not like a lot of space here. But yeah, that would be it. I mean, you did a pretty good, decent job. I think the only thing you're missing is your keywords, so you could rank higher in the search results, and that's really important because your photo is what made them want to click to learn more about your product. SEO is how they actually found you, right? So if you're not optimizing your listing, they're not going to find you. And your listing description is what builds credibility with the customers, what makes them feel comfortable enough to go ahead and buy from you. So you need those three combinations together. And if you don't have them, you could have amazing photos, but if your SEO is not done correctly, you're not going to drive traffic. You can have your SEO done correctly, but if your photos are not that great, people are not going to click. So everything plays a role. So make sure that you kind of collectively fix everything so you have a higher probability of people buying from you, which is the ultimate goal. Um, the banner, I think it looks nice. I think it's a little empty in my opinion. What I would do is, I think that you're doing a good job with sticking with your colors. And that's a big one. Branding 101 is really important. I'm in the midst of changing my branding again. It's like my fifth time this year alone. And that's because I've been working on it so hard that I come up with an idea and I think this is great. And then, 2 months later, I'm like, I could do better. And then I fix it again and I fix it again. Hopefully, with this one new change that I'm doing now, I will stick with that for a while now. So, branding is one of those things that you could hire a company to do for you, which I am actually going to do. By the end of the year, I'm hiring a company called Brand Up. They're amazing and they do all the branding for you, for your website, for your products, your services, everything. So if you guys want to look them up, Brand Up, I think it's brandup.com. So I'm actually planning to do something with them. I already talked to them. They sent me information. I have the pricing. I just have to save the money. So you could do something like that. You could hire someone to do your branding if you're not good at it like myself, or you could do it yourself in Google and like learn more about it. You pick particular colors. You pick 2 to 5 fonts, and you stick with those colors and those fonts, and you don't deviate from them, and you use them all across on Etsy, on your signatures, on your email, on your social media. You put it everywhere, and that's to help you become a brand and for people to start identifying your brand. And when you have really strong brand, people start thinking you of as a premium brand. You start growing your business. You will stand out in a saturated market, especially if you're selling products and services that a lot of people are selling. This is how you separate yourself from everyone else. So I highly recommend researching a little bit more. What I would do in your banner is include, one, your email list, so you can start collecting emails. Two, make sure you have maybe your hours of operation, maybe your social media handles if you have any. But filling this up, maybe you add your best sellers up here if you have any at the current moment. But it's important that this is what people see, and it needs to be a little bit fuller. It looks a little empty in my opinion, but I think that you are off to a great start. So you should be very proud of yourself. Another thing that I recommend is optimizing your store for SEO and optimizing your name section. So your name section is basically where you have this one here that says logos and wall printables. You want to make sure that you look up like 10 to 15 words that accurately describes what you sell in your store, all the products that you sell. And then what you want to do is add your keywords to your tagline, add your keywords to your name section, add some of your keywords also in your shop announcement. This is just the more keywords you can add to your store. It's just for SEO purposes. The more the algorithm knows what your site or what your shop is about. And this is the main reason why you want to stick with a micro niche, because if you talk about the same thing over and over and over, Google will start syndicating your store and understanding, oh, this store is all about logo designs, and you will get higher authority in the search results. But if you have too many products, too many services, you're all over the place, then it's really hard for Google to understand what your site is about, and eventually it hinders you. So that's the reason why I always say start with a micro niche. So you have done that because that's all you sell. So you are off to a great start. And your reviews are good. You have 3 reviews, or 2 reviews, excuse me. No, it says 3 here. So 3 reviews. Usually with reviews, you're always going to have very low reviews in the beginning. That's normal. There's stores that I have 4,000 sales and only like 800 reviews. I mean, it just happens. Not everyone is going to leave you a review. But great job on your reviews. I don't see anything wrong there. Great job for having a picture of your office. It's actually very pretty. I'm kind of jealous. And great job for having your About Me story. What I would do is elaborate a little bit more in your About Me story. You could include links in here as well. If you have social media, I will include your Instagram, your Facebook. If you have Pinterest, make sure that you're connecting your social media. There are people that are going to read your story. I'm not saying every single person is going to go and read your About Me story, but keep in mind, there are people out there that work for companies like Pop Sugar or BuzzFeed or other bigger companies that might find something in your store on Google, let's say. They click and they're like, oh, I love the store. I want to feature them on my, I don't know, my next article. Let me reach out to them. But you don't have, hey, contact me. Here's my email. You don't have that. You don't have social media handles. If you don't make it easy for people to find you, um, you're not going to be able to grow your business or get opportunities to be featured on these magazines that sometimes go on Etsy and find random people and say, do you mind if we feature you? So just keep that in mind. These are things that could happen to you. I'm not saying they are going to happen. Hopefully they will, right? But these are things that could happen, that maybe somebody came across one of your listings and now they're trying to find information about you. They can't find it. And they're like, okay, well, I'll just find someone else. Some people are like that. They're not going to go the extra mile to reach out to you, right? So keep that in mind. It's really important that you fill this out, add a little bit more information, add how people could contact you, and make sure you add your social media platforms. If you don't have any, I do recommend starting social media, because it's going to help you grow your brand a lot quicker than just having an Etsy store by itself. But other than that, I think the biggest takeaway is learning how to brand yourself. SEO is a big one for you because you're not optimizing your listings for SEO correctly, or your store for SEO. But you are off to a great start. Guys, if you have any additional tips for her, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. And I want to thank everyone for sticking around, watching the critique, and thanks everyone for watching again.